are a lot of podcasts out there, but only one with this kind of energy.
Welcome to EVP Show Recaps Prediction Sports. Let go, show recaps prediction sports
In one podcast.
Welcome to EVP Show Recaps Prediction Sports. Let go.
What is going on, everybody? It's the EVP from the EVP Show, and we are live for your Big Brother Season 28 Week 2 recap show. What a wild week. We just saw, or if you are on the East Coast, then you just saw that the second person was evicted tonight from Big Brother. It wasn't really close. Definitely one of my top 3 picks to win the game. So, not a big surprise. But oh my God, I hate that blur. Sucks so bad. But it was a crazy week, to say the least. I'm gonna post it. I'm live. I know there's other stuff going on right now, but I'll go ahead and post it. Anyways, it feels like I was with you guys last night on Queens of WWE, but yeah, I'm glad to be back here on my stream. Going to go ahead and tweet that out live. I have a big announcement to make, by the way, so stay tuned for that. Just 1 second, guys. All right. Okay, so I want to start off by saying thank you, guys. This has been a crazy year. So many ups and downs. A lot more downs than ups, truly. But this YouTube, I started this off just honestly for something fun to do because I love professional wrestling. And then it becomes something that was a big distraction from things that was going on in my personal life. People that know me know. I'm not going to put it out there for the whole world to know. But, a lot of people didn't like me, for the longest time, and it just was centered around maybe the people I associated with, or at the end of the day, when I'm on Twitter, or sometimes on YouTube when I'm ranting about a show, at the end of the day, I'm playing a character. So people that truly know me, like, know who the person I am, like, outside of, sometimes the way I am on YouTube and how I used to be in Twitter Spaces and stuff like that. But truthfully, joining WWE was the best thing I ever could have possibly done. They're super supportive. I've been able to do way more stuff than ever thought that I could even accomplish. Getting into the news business is like swimming in a pool of sharks. But I feel like I'm doing fairly well. I have over 22 subscribers so far in July. A lot of stuff I've been putting in there has actually been happening. So everybody seems very pleased. So, I do appreciate everybody that has signed up for that. And this Sunday, Raymond won his free month 2 Sundays ago, and then Greg, the world of Greg, won this past Sunday. So this Sunday, because I believe you guys got it up to 12 likes, which is crazy. The most likes I think I've ever gotten on a stream. I will be doing another giveaway. Now, be aware that this is my last Sunday night scoop for the month of July, because the first Sunday in August is SummerSlam. And I will not be covering. I will not be doing a scoop show or LFG on that Sunday. I'll just be covering SummerSlam, the recap of that. But as I say, every show, it's only $3 a month. If you guys saw some posts I put out on X today about the plans changing with Tiffany Stratton and Blake Monroe, I posted that in the exclusive channel on July the 17th, which was less than a week ago. And then it was reported by the big dogs today on Twitter. So a lot of stuff I'm getting pretty early. Have missed a couple of things due to changes or just getting it wrong. It's part of it. But don't miss out. We're getting towards the end of the month. Just had somebody sign up today, which I don't even know. I think today's the 23rd or something like that. 23rd. So obviously I have to give them a little bit of grace. I can't just, ask for another $3 on the first. I kind of have to just kind of remember where everybody's at. But it's a pretty cool Discord. It's been around for a while. I don't really do too much chattering in there. The other co-owner made a specific channel. I didn't know until I saw it. For people that have the exclusive channel access to be able to chat in, so that I don't have to put my stuff all in the general chat for people that's not paying. Because at the end of the day, the only free stuff that I'm going to be giving out from now on is stuff that's on Sunday Night Scoops. So as long as everybody's still showing up for Sunday Night Scoop, then that show will keep going on. And it is my number one show on YouTube, so I don't feel like that's going to change. So unless I just get really bad at giving out information. So at that point, I would probably shut it down. But yeah, $3 a month, no contract. August 1st is, I believe, 9 days away. So try to get signed up now. If you want to get signed up, hit me up in the DMs. If you have a Discord, obviously a couple members of DWE are in the exclusive channel. Miami, he's the CEO, so obviously I'm not charging him. Me and him run a Discord together for sports. The World of Greg obviously won a free month, and somebody's going to win a free month this week. So make sure you tune in Sunday for that Sunday Night Scoops episode, because I will draw another winner. You can't win twice in a row. So if you've been wanting to get in and you just don't want to pay $3, which you're not going to get in a news channel any cheaper than that. But there's a lot of people I've had to deal with, some people from Saudi Arabia and India and stuff like that maybe they don't have PayPal or Cash App, or I don't really pull his Venmo or anything like that. So make sure you get in. Like I said, a lot of stuff, my accuracy rate is really high right now. So everything's a credit to hard work at the end of the day, and the people that you work with and for. That's just kind of a life lesson I can kind of give everybody is you are who you surround yourself with, basically. This isn't like a sermon or anything like that. Obviously, this is a Big Brother show, but it's definitely something to take heed of. If you surround yourself with negative people and negativity and people that don't want to grow and just are content with being stuck where they're at, then that's where you're gonna be. You're gonna be stuck where you're at for I don't know, until you break out on your own. I mean, I did it for 2 years. I'm not gonna dog those people. I think that I'm a little bit above talking about them anymore. But at the end of the day, I'm grateful for the opportunity. I'll say that. But that's about as far as it goes. I was stuck in a bubble for 2 years, and now with DWE, you guys just don't understand. If you are a content creator and you're not linked up with anyone, hit up Miami or Final Boss Baby. They are the two heads of the DWE. you're not going to find a better place to work for, honestly, or work with. They're not like drill sergeants and stuff like that. You know, can't take a day off. I mean, Miami asks me all the time, "Hey, bro, you good? Like, you've been streaming like 14 days in a row. Like, you good? Like, you need a day off?" No, I'm good, bro. So, like, at the end of the day, like, you make your own, like, pretty much. I mean, I guess it seems like you kind of make your own schedule. Everybody kind of works around everybody's schedule. We all just it just works. So, anybody out there that is a content creator that's like lost in the sauce, I guess you could say, DWE is definitely a place to try to bring if you want to grow, because the company is growing every day. Everybody in the company is growing. Obviously, we brought our Kyle was brought in. Obviously, I definitely helped Miami with that. But I mean, look how much he's grown since he's joined DWE. He has his own show. Something that truly was kind of put on the back burner for a long time. So super proud of Kyle for that. You can see me with him every Wednesday. We went for about 2 hours last night. Unfortunately, YouTube copyrighted me. So I don't know how many more times you'll see that show on my channel. Because apparently you can't play a Cyndi Lauper song or something like that. So I don't know. I got an email saying it didn't hurt my channel, but yeah, that's what it is. I'll probably still stream it to my ex, but I don't know about YouTube because I can't afford to get any more copyright strikes. So I don't want them shutting the channel down. Secondly, I promised everybody, this is crazy. Like I'm just completely blown away. Obviously, I did a lot of marketing for it, but it was also a lot of other people involved as well. Tribal Kingpin for one, for sure. A lot of people in the Discord that wasn't even sub to my YouTube channel. Just crazy. So everybody that was in my Sunday Night Scoops comments in July, the first Sunday Night Scoops in August, which will be August 9th. There's actually going to be 2 drawings on August 9th. So the first one will be for $25. And this one's just crazy. It has me like, I'm just overwhelmed, honestly. I'm literally like, about a month ago, I was sitting at like 240 subscribers, and I'm like, man, I'm just kind of stuck in a rut. Like, I can't get subs. I don't know what to do. It's wild. Yesterday, I got like almost 40 subs. And I'm like, holy shit. Like, I got a real chance to get to 300 before SummerSlam. Like, that was my goal. After WrestleMania or something like that, which I was at like 180 or 200 or something like. I think I was at 200. About 4 or 5 p.m. Central today, I hit the 300 subscriber mark. So that's incredible. So thank everybody. I want to thank everybody that is subscribed to the channel. We're actually at 301 subscribers. I don't know if a couple will fall off or whatever. I'm sure they will, but I'm going to keep pushing at 500. Obviously, the ultimate goal, but to get to 300 a week before SummerSlam, a week and a half, is just absolutely incredible. Thank you to the guy with the Seth Rollins picture. He really helped push Tribal Kingpin as well. He definitely was posting tweets out. Thank you to everybody, truly. I'm truly blown away. I mean, I'm not monetized, but I'm getting close. Just about 199 subscribers away. So it's just crazy. I never in a million years, after a year, thought that I would even have this many subscribers. So 300 people is not a lot to these big time people, but for me, it's a lot. Because I'm not even a year old. There's people that's chasing me. I mean, they're actively chasing me on YouTube. And they've been doing it for 2 years or 3 years, and they're almost 100 behind me. So, I try to support everybody at the end of the day. You know, like I said, shout out to World of Greg for reposting the stream. I try to support everybody at the end of the day. I don't have a whole lot of time to come in other people's stuff because I'm always streaming. It's probably going to slow down a little bit after SummerSlam. I doubt it, but with Heat Wave coming up at the end of August, but maybe a week or two, it'll slow down. But it's full throttle. I mean, I set out a goal for 500 subscribers. Obviously, I still have to get my watch hours up, which they're getting up there. But yeah, I'm getting so close. I can taste it. So, a lot of people do this, starting up like I did for fun. But ultimately, as much work as I put into this channel and to putting out content, eventually you want to get rewarded, if that makes sense. You want to kind of build your own type of, not an empire, but like, that's kind of talking about the guy that got evicted tonight, but, you want to be successful. There's so many people that do this, and they, I was talking to Kyle about this. We're going to get on the recap. I'm just very thankful for you guys. There will be a draw, but somebody is going to win $100. So it's not going to be tonight because I have to go through. I'm probably going to have some help. I'm going to have to go through all the subscribers. I'm not going to give $100 away to somebody that's never stepped foot in the comment section. That's not fair. For the people that just subscribe, I will definitely put you guys in the drawing. But people that's been subscribed since I opened this channel, if I haven't seen you in the comments like ever, I can't put you in there. I mean, it's not fair to the 200, or it's going to be over 200 plus easy in this drawing. So your chances of winning are not great, but just think every 100, there's going to be another draw. And we'll get to 500. It's actually $250. I haven't announced that yet. I told Tribal Kingpin earlier today because he asked. But when I get to 500 subscribers, that is the giveaway for that. So it's actually going to be 2 giveaways on August the 9th, because it's going to take me that long to go through the entire list of people that subscribe. Obviously, if the number falls like drastically under, I'm still going to do it, but we got to try to work back towards 300. I'm sure like YouTube kind of fluctuates. I wanted to get maybe to the 302, 303, 304 before I just quickly made the announcement. But we are at 301 subscribers. I did hit my goal of 300 subscribers before SummerSlam. I'm just absolutely blown away. Thank you guys so much, especially to the ones that are super supportive. To the haters, just keep on hating, because I'm just going to keep on doing my thing. I'm just going to keep on doing me and doing what I love to do, and that's coming on here every night and putting out the best possible content that I can put out for you guys. So I just want to say I'm deeply shocked to get almost 50 subscribers in 2 days. But I guess people want money. So I don't know. I think that probably was a big factor. But sometimes you have to do what you have to do to get subscribers. So thank you again to everybody. I haven't forgot. But the draw is not tonight. You guys got to give me time to go through 300 people and see who's been active in the chat. There's people in there that I don't even know, to be honest with you. They may be bots for all I know. I have no idea, but I'm going to go through there at some point, probably tomorrow. I'm going to get a notebook paper and just start writing everything down. If you commented one time on any stream, then you will be going into the drawing. So if you've ever been on a prediction show, if you've ever been a co-host, if you've ever reposted my stream, if you've ever retweeted my stream, like and you're subscribed, then you're obviously going to be in the drawing. So thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Much love. I'm so thankful for everybody, especially everybody with DWE. If it wasn't for them, obviously I do put in a lot of hard work, but they also help me with a lot of stuff, thumbnails, videos. Now I've kind of figured out what to do on TikTok. I had a friend kind of tell me, well, damn, your views are like really low on the videos. Are you using hashtags? And I was like, no, because I don't live on TikTok. I could really care less about TikTok. I only use it to promote the videos. So I literally put some hashtags on the SmackDown videos for tomorrow, and I mean the views are just way the hell up there, just from some hashtags. So I know what to do now. I gotta hashtag it up on the videos on Instagram and TikTok. So I got a notification from TikTok earlier saying that one of my videos, or one of the videos that Miami made, or Greg, whichever one, got the highest views that I had on TikTok. So yeah, it was wild. It's I'm still just kind of blown away. But thank you guys so much. We're gonna go ahead and get into this. So this was a crazy week of Big Brother. If you guys missed out on week one, I'll kind of give you a quick rundown. D obviously was the HOH. Yash won the blockbuster comp. And Ashley was evicted week one unanimously with a 14-0 vote. So obviously D cannot compete in the HOH. There was a lot of fireworks at the nomination ceremony. Hold on, I gotta take this top off of my. There was a lot of fireworks at the nomination ceremony this week. Is something that we haven't seen. But Angela Murray, she's a returning star from Big Brother 26, so you can kind of expect that from her. But man, it was wild as shit this week. I watched a lot of feeds. Like I said, I picked this was I do a pool every year. And speaking of pools, obviously I have a lot of fantasy football leagues now that I've gotten to 300 subscribers. I need to start working on filling these fantasy football leagues. I have a $10 league, a $15 league, a $20 league, a $25 league, and a $100 league. So I need spots in all of them. So if you play fantasy football and you like to play for money, have it all different prices. So yeah. So make sure you guys hit me up about that. All right, so let's get it going. So as I said, Ashley was evicted. She kind of ruined herself though. She had an opportunity to save herself and not go home last week, but she went and to the other side of the house, the other alliance on the other side of the house, and told them that she felt safe. And then word got back to D and Rick and Angela and all them that she was running her mouth. And so she ultimately was the first house gets evicted by 14-0 unanimous vote. All right. So this is your Big Brother season 28. Week 2 recap. The title for Big Brother this season is called Time Trip. Everything is like going back into time. If you are a Big Brother fan, make sure you watch tomorrow. And if you can, if you're like, I probably need to at some point connect to Facebook because there's so many communities on Big Brother on Facebook. And there's a lot on Twitter as well. But make sure you guys are like, you can go to cbs.com/vote. The first 6 weeks of the game, you can vote for your house guest favorite. The same person cannot win multiple times. Obviously, I'll tell you a little bit about who the first winner was, and then you kind of go into a room, and I'll kind of explain all that. And you can either get a power from a previous Big Brother season or a punishment, just kind of depending on how you did in the competition. But you can vote up to 10 or 15 times, I believe. I voted myself, but obviously she didn't win the first week. I don't think she's very well liked because she won Survivor. But it is what it is. She's going to have a target on her the whole game. So tomorrow night, it's not like a regular episode. It's the Big Brother Unlocked. Derek, a former Big Brother winner, and Taylor also she's a former Big Brother winner as well. They do this every Friday night. They're actually going to reveal to everyone what the powers and the punishments are going to be. Because Sunday on the next episode, which is Sunday for which will start the week 3. I've already got the week 3 recap posted. It's ready to go. That's how fast DWE and Miami and them are. I literally stay a week ahead. So yeah. So Sunday the vote's in, and they will reveal who is going to be the second person to try to go for a power or punishment. Shout out to DWE media page for reposting the stream. I figure we'd probably get some comments in here. I'm not sure if people even know that on live, but some people may just now be watching Big Brother. I'm on the East Coast, so I know it's a couple hours behind. So this is the Big Brother, as I said, season 28, week 2 recap show. The theme of this year is time, like going back in time. So I'm gonna give you guys. I break this into parts. This week, this recap show is gonna be broken into 11 different parts. So, but I do thank you so much to you guys for the 300 subscribers. You guys, somebody's winning $100. Well, actually, there's going to be 2 drawings. Like I said, there's going to be a $25 drawing for scoops only. And then for the subscribers, there's going to be a $100 drawing. That's going to be done the first Sunday in August. So that gives you even more reason to tune in to Sunday Night Scoops, because that's where the winners are going to be crowned. So 2 winners, actually. So thank you guys again. Thank you to everybody from DWE. Thank you, Tribal Kingpin, Stampede. A lot of people in the Discord for reaching out. What's going on, Tribal Kingpin? What do you think of the Toolshed Alliance, and who is the weakest link? I think it's. I'll get to that. I will get to that. I'll get to the questions after we kind of go over. I think that the Toolshed Alliance is kind of spreading itself. I don't know. We'll talk about it. I don't know why. I think Final Boss Baby said you can't see comments if you're on a Android. So I don't know. But like I said, thank you guys again. Won't say this again tonight. I'll tell you guys again tomorrow. But thank you guys so much for the 300 subs. It means a lot to me. So thank you. So I'm going to give you guys, I'm breaking this up into parts. It's going to be 11 parts. And then if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, what you thought of week 2, then we will talk about after. It's good to see you, Tribal Kingpin. I promise you we'll talk about the Toolshed Alliance. I haven't really gotten into the alliances that were formed this week yet. So once we get there, I'll kind of break that down and tell you like who I think the weakest link, and who I think can't really be trusted in that Toolshed Alliance. So, all right. So I'm gonna give you guys a week 1, a week overview. After Ashley Trail was actually the first one evicted. By 14-0 unanimous vote, the game entered a strategic phase. The easy first week conversations were over. Trust became harder to earn. Alliances started taking shape, and every conversation began to suddenly matter. With only 16 house guests remaining, everyone knew week 2 would set the tone for the rest of the season. So I'm going to go over the remaining house guests who we still have left in the game. We have former Big Brother player Angela Murray from season 26, Barrett Piper, Chuck Anawayu, Dee Valadares, Survivor winner Drew Campbell, Haley Thogmartin, Jason Depew, Kamu Kirk, Latrice Barrett, Lyric Meteoros, who her dad, I just found out, is a singer. And she's actually a lawyer. And a lawyer won last year, which is a little scary. Hopefully she can survive after tonight. I feel bad for her, but I think that was totally real. I don't think that was show at all. So with her and Rome. So Mallory Arricchio, Melody Morris, Rick Devens is also a Survivor legend. Rome Seymour, Taylor Brown, and Yash Patel. As I said, Ashley was a big to week 1. So let's get into the week 2 headlines. A new HOH. That's how we start off every single week. D was not able to compete in this competition. This competition was called the Achy Breaky HOH. Kind of took them back to, I don't remember the year, but it took them back to when everybody had to dress up, basically, in like cowgirl outfits. The first round, you kind of had to pair up, and then you had to take like a hockey type puck thing and slide it with all these points across the board. And it ultimately came down to Jason and Angela and Rick and Haley were the final 4. And then ultimately it came down to Rick and Haley, and Rick wanted to throw it to Haley. He tried to throw it to Haley, but she actually overshot. So Rick Devens ended up winning the week 2 HOH, which was wild, but we will talk about that. So following Ashley's eviction, the remaining house guests battled for control of the game. The outcome gave one player the power to recheck the house and forced everyone else to reveal where they truly stood. Alliances started becoming real. That's something that Chavo was talking about. Week 1 featured plenty of conversations and tentative deals. Week 2 was way more different for me. Personally, groups became more organized, trust more exclusive, and several players began thinking weeks ahead instead of simply surviving the next eviction. So a lot of targets began to emerge this week. Instead of nominating players simply because they were easy choices, strategic reasons started driving decisions. Behind all this, house guests paid close attention to who was spending time together, who was sharing information, and who looked like they could become dangerous later in the game. The BB Blockbuster obviously returned. That was last week. So it's going to be 3 nominees. I believe it's all the way up until jury. After the veto, there's still 3 nominees on eviction night. The BB Blockbuster was played tonight. Obviously, somebody wins, they come down off the block. The other 2 go to the vote, and somebody is voted out. The BB Blockbuster twist once again played a major role in the week's outcome. 1 nominee earned safety, while the remaining nominees were left to campaign for votes before eviction night. Talk a little bit about the live feeds. If you guys don't watch those, while the television episodes showed the major competitions and ceremonies, the live feed revealed strategy sessions behind closed doors, new alliances forming, information leaks, personal conflicts, long-term plans that could shape the rest of the season. So, all right. So we are going to move on to part 2, which is everything to do with the HOH. All right, week 2 featured 4 competitions that completely changed the direction of the game. So we start off with the BB Time Capsule competition. That was what I was talking about. America can go in and vote for their favorite house guest. Actually, the first winner of the BB Time Capsule competition was Big Brother season 26 player Angela Murray, which was no surprise to me. She is well loved by the community and America. So the competition was very weird. Went into her DR. Found out that she won the time capsule. So then she went into a room and sat in a chair, and there was like 7 or 8 different things on the wall. I believe 4 or 5 of them said power, and then the other half said punishment. And like you gotta the chair spins, and then you gotta hit the button, and wherever, like when you hit that button, whatever it lands on, whether it's a power or a disadvantage, then that's what you get. So unfortunately for Angela, she spun around and hit the button way too fast. I don't think she really knew what to expect. She ended up with a disadvantage. She had to dress in a egg. So if you guys watched last season, Vince Pinero had to do the same punishment. It's sort of like she was dressed up like an egg, but she was walking around with like a magnifying, like a detective, like a hard boiled egg detective. I mean, and I'm telling you, like she was claustrophobic. She was flopping around that thing. It was probably one of the funniest things I've seen. But she definitely did not get a power. So those powers are still out there. All the powers will be revealed on BB Unlocked tomorrow night. So I'm interested to see what powers they're going to bring back, because me and Kingpin were talking about last week, you got the coup d'etat, you got the power that Tribal Kingpin was talking about last week, that could come into play. I'm interested to see which powers they're actually going to implement back into the game. So Angela Murray won the first BB time capsule, but she had to dress up in that egg suit. And then at nighttime when she went to sleep, like she could take the suit off, but she still had to dress up like in other like Amish type clothes. I mean, she had to do that 24 hours a day. So like, I'm sure she is super happy to be coming out of that egg suit tonight. The HOH is either currently going on or will be going on. It's not on the live feeds. I felt like it was going to be endurance. This is the 3rd week, and we still haven't had an endurance comp. Man, the power can really shift after tonight. We'll see who wins HOH. I'll find out after the stream, obviously either on X or when I tune into the live feeds. But that is who won the BB time capsule. So make sure to go to bigbrother.com/vote. If you don't have or cbs.com/vote, Big Brother or something like that. I don't know the exact address. If you don't have an account, you don't have to pay anything. Sign up and vote for your favorite player. The second winner of the BB time capsule will be revealed this Sunday. So will they get lucky and get a power? We'll find out what the powers are tomorrow. So from the BB time capsule to the BB blockbuster, every competition has an impact on the nominations, ultimately determine who went home. So we're going to talk about the BB time capsule again because it's in my notes. It's America's vote, basically. Before they had a household, Julie Chen Moonves, who is the host, I'm sorry, Miss Julie, for not acknowledging you. You're a legend, revealed that America voted Angela Murray to enter the BB time capsule. Angela did not win a power. Instead, she received the hard-boiled egg detective punishment, forcing her to wear the costume throughout the week. And it was very much a punishment. Although Angela didn't receive a game advantage, the punishment became one of the week's recurring comedic moments and was referenced by several house guests. So let's go to the HOH competition. It was called Achy Breaky HOH, which was hosted by D. The outgoing HOH, she could not compete. All the remaining 15 house guests competed besides D. How the competition worked. The house guests were transported back to June 30th, 1992. I was actually 12 years old. 12 years old. Wait. I was 11. And I was 11 years old. I was about to turn 12. Wait. Yeah. For a country-themed competition, contestants competed in pairs using a shuffleboard-style game, trying to land their disc on the highest scoring spaces. Winners advanced through multiple rounds until only 2 players remain. In the final round, the championship came down to Rick Devens and Haley. Rick tried to throw it to Haley. He landed on, I think, 35 on like the first circle. Like they shifted the points around each round so that they all wouldn't be in the same spot. Like if you landed in between one of the circles, whatever the number was what you got. If it went off the board, then you were basically out because you got a 0. So it was a difficult competition. Rick did not really want to win. He wanted Haley to win, but she ended up passing up her target on the numbers she wanted, and she landed shorter than the 38 or 35 that Rick got. So, like I said, Rick actually attempted to throw it, but his final shot landed on a higher score, making him the accidental winner. So your HOH for week 2 is another Survivor player back-to-back, Rick Devens. So while this mattered, Rick's victory gave him complete control of week 2. Rather than making a safe move, he immediately began planning a backdoor. But Angela Murray had a lot to do with this as well. So I'm not going to give Rick the complete credit. Obviously, D, Angela, and Rick are, for me, probably maybe not competition-wise. It looks that way so far, but when it starts getting to like endurance, I mean, D's a beast, so people don't sleep on her when it comes to endurance. But they're controlling the game right now. So D and Angela had a lot to do with this backdoor plan. But I mean, when you plan to backdoor someone with 3 noms and a blockbuster and a veto, like everything kind of has to go your way in order for that to happen. So Rick's victory gave him complete control. Like I said, he wanted to backdoor Rome. So let's go to the nomination ceremony. So following his HOH win, Rick nominated Jason Depew, which there was a lot of drama after this nomination ceremony with Jason and Angela. We'll kind of touch on that a little bit. Lyric, which is Rome's showmance. They were talking about getting married this week. She said she was on the feed. She was talking to the other girls that everybody needed to get in a showmance, that she wishes that this was Love Island. This girl is a lawyer. If she wins this season, I am going to be like, I predict that she's going to be in a showmance. I kind of gave away who got evicted, but we'll talk about it anyway. I think that she's going to end up in another showmance before this season's over. She has to have attention. Maybe not I don't know the way it ended tonight. I mean, obviously that person might be able to watch live, so maybe she won't. We'll see. But the initial nominations were Jason, Lyric, and Melody Morris. Melody was not happy about going on the block. Melody was kind of on the other side of the house. She is after the icons, so it made a lot of sense. While Rick nominated her. While these were the official nominees, Rick's true target was Rome in a backdoor. So at the nomination ceremony, after that, Angela, so Jason had been making a lot of snide comments and like doing all these facial expressions when Angela walked off. He had done something about faking a death or something with his mother. I don't really know. I didn't see that part, but they were talking about it. She called Jason out. She called him a B word. She called them a B word, and it was bad. It was one of the craziest nomination ceremonies. I mean, the tables, everybody at the table's mouth was like completely dropped. It was crazy. And then Haley said something to Rome after that, and like Rome like acted like he was gonna charge at her, and then Barrett got in between them, and it was just freaking wild. Like it was insane. It was just so crazy. But that is the starting nominees: Jason Depew, Lyric Meteoros, and Melody Morris. So let's go to the power veto. For the power veto, that this is a way to remove yourself from the nomination block. As I mentioned last week, you have your HOH, and the 3 nominees and 2 players will be selected at random to compete in the power of veto competition. So, the 6 players competing is going to be the HOH, Rick. The nominees Jason, Lyric, and Melody, and drawn by random are Angela Murray and Barrett Piper. The Power Veto competition name was called the Veto Lasso. So basically, the way this worked, they were kind of in the backyard. It was sort of a puzzle. They had to put all these puzzle pieces together to match up. Very, very difficult looking competition. I'm not a big puzzle person. I definitely sent in auditions to be on this show early when I was in my 20s and 30s. I got 1 call back, I think. I think it was season 16 or 18. I had to go to New Orleans. I didn't make it past the 2nd round, but the amount of puzzles that they do a lot of puzzles on Survivor too, which that's going to be starting up again. While this show's coming on, I'm a little disappointed because I'm not going to be able to cover both of them. But I'm looking forward to Traders. That probably will be what I do next after Big Brother. So it's basically just a puzzle. Like, you got to just fit all these puzzle pieces in the right spot. It was very close. I'm talking about, like, the winner was determined within like 3 to 5 seconds. It was super close. So Angela tried to solve it really fast, and I mean, I'm watching it at home. I'm like, damn, she's super fast. I mean, she is good at stuff like that. So I was like, damn, Angela's already done won it. And then she hit the buzzer, and she was incorrect. So Rick started kind of looking at Angela's stuff, and he said it just all started to click. So then he just started booming through it. And Jason Depew also looks like he is going to be a puzzle threat throughout the whole entire season. They better get him out because there's a lot of comps like this. They were neck and neck. Lyric, no chance. Melody, Barrett, they were all just, they didn't do well. So the house guys took part in a Western-themed veto challenge where speed and accuracy were key to completing the course and were earning the golden power of veto by a 1.65 second difference from hitting the buzzer. Less than 2 seconds. Rick Devens, the HOH winner, has secured the golden power of veto. That's like double whammy. Like, you got all the power when you win the HOH and the veto. So let's move on to the veto ceremony. Obviously, there was a lot of discussion. Rick met with the alliances and stuff like that we went over last week. The red corner, the crossovers, and then obviously the tool shed was formed. The tool shed had to be formed. It's basically a combination of the red corner and the crossovers. So I'm going to answer Tribal Kingpin's question. What do I think of the tool shed alliance and who is the weakest link? I think it's too many people. Yes, they could control the votes, and if any one of them win, as long as they stay loyal, our favorites or who, I don't know who everybody's cheering for, but they can pretty much control the game, but they're going to ultimately end up having to turn on each other at some point because only one person wins, or 2 people are going to win money on this game. So it's good from a numbers standpoint. And I feel like a lot of strong competitors are in there. I do like that. I think that's well thought out. And who do I think the weakest link? I think I'm going to tell you, week 1, I thought that he was like going to be out early, but Drew is kind of reminding me of like a miniature Will Kirby. He's spreading a lot of information, but like he's also in good with everyone. I think it has to be Barrett because Barrett has a crush on D, but D just flirts. D's just very flirty. She flirts with everybody. She's not going to date anybody in that house. D thinks Kamu's hot, but Camu and Haley like each other. And I believe I think it's Melody that likes Barrett, but Barrett likes D. Mallory just hates all of the bets and the icons, and Melody said she's got plenty at home. So that's just hilarious. So let's get to the power veto ceremony. So after a lot of deliberation with the alliances, that's one thing that I did like about this week is after Rick won HOH, everybody was up in his room. At one point, the whole alliance the Toolshed alliance was in the HOH room, and it's Rome, Jason. They went and woke Barrett up. He was the last person to get brought up there. Rome went up there. He told Lyric and Jason, like, well, we're the only ones not up there. I'm going up there. He went and knocked on the door, rang the doorbell. They were just all laughing, and they never answered the door. So ultimately, they knew like one of them three were in trouble, which is crazy. That was funny. So Rick had a difficult time. He knew that he wanted to backdoor Rome from the start, so securing that power veto win made that very possible for him to execute this backdoor. But he was torn on whether to take Lyric off the block. Lyric made a very compelling case, but so did Mallory. Mallory just wanted to come off the block. She seemed like she was just like a nervous wreck, and the vote wasn't even close tonight. So she's going to have to get that under control if she wants to be a heavy player and win in this season. But ultimately, after deliberating and Rick talking to all of his alliance members, Rick decided to use the power of veto and save Lyric, which is Rome's girlfriend. Their ultimate goal is to break up that showmance this week. So he did save Lyric. And so with that being said, if you pull somebody off the block, or if somebody that's on the block wins the power veto and removes themselves, then you have to name a replacement nominee. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast, the plan for the crossovers and for the crossover alliance and the red corners was to backdoor Rome. So with that being said, Rick said this isn't personal, just a game move, and he's 100% being factual. He named Rome Seymour as the replacement nominee, actually completing his backdoor plan. So I can't talk about the blockbuster. I don't know why I put this in here. Yeah, we could talk about the blockbuster. I just won't. We don't. We'll skip around a little bit because I put it out of order, and that's my fault. So the BB blockbuster that actually took place tonight, it was the name of the title of that was called Pirates Booty. This was actually played last season. It was Jason, Melody, and I don't know why I called her Mallory. It's Melody, and Rome. So basically, you have like all these platforms, and the goal is you're standing in front of Julie. She's talking like when she says go, you have to match up all the colors on each pole. So like, but you can't pick up. You're picking up these things off the pole, but you can't set them on the ground. So like it is some sort of like a puzzle like, but you have to have all three of the whites on one side, and all three of the greens, and all three of the reds. So it takes a lot of critical thinking. Obviously, there's a lot of pressure. And Jason actually did win that blockbuster. I knew it was going to be Jason or Rome, but Jason's good at puzzles. Just like I told you, he's going to be a threat. So Jason secures safety, leaving Melody and Rome as the final nominees heading into the live eviction. Why that mattered to me, Jason's victory guaranteed that Rick's backdoor plan would succeed unless the House decided to flip the vote at the last minute. So week 2 competition results. BB time capsule was Angela Murray. She was America's Choice. She received the hard-boiled egg detective punishment. The Achy Break HOH was Rick. The veto winner was Rick as well, and the blockbuster winner was Jason. So we're gonna go into part 3. Like I said, this is 11 parts, guys. So it's gonna be a little bit longer of a stream because I was thanking everybody for the subs. All right, so this is completely done out of order. I don't know why I did it this way, but it's okay. Part 3, I labeled it nominations and veto ceremony with Rick in power. After winning Achy Break HOH, the House quickly realized this wasn't going to be a quiet week. Rick already had decided he wanted to take a shot at one of the biggest strategic threats in the House, but first he needed the right setup. So before nominations, Rome approached Rick hoping to protect his allies, and this was something that boiled over into the nomination ceremony because Rick called Rome out on what he told him in his room. That Rome basically told him he only wanted him to protect himself, Lyric, and Jason. So he was basically throwing the rest of his allies under the bus, and ultimately it ended up biting him in the ass. So Rome approached Rick hoping to protect his allies. He asked Rick to keep Lyric, Jason, and himself safe while offering Melody as an acceptable nominee. Instead of reassuring Rick, the conversation convinced him that Rome had too much influence and he needed to go. So that was a bad move by Rome. Rick and his closest allies then came up with a backdoor plan, which I already mentioned, to nominate Rome's allies first, win the veto, and replace one of them with Rome. So as I mentioned, the original nomination was Jason, Lyric, and Melody. The nominations weren't random. They were designed to leave Rome vulnerable if the veto was used. And obviously they have to hope, like I said, that Rome wasn't one of the two players selected to play in the veto, or the whole. You got to have everything go your way with this many nominees and a blockbuster to pull off a backdoor. So the explosion of the ceremony. The nomination ceremony immediately turned into one of the most chaotic moments of the season. What should have been a routine meeting became a full house confrontation. Jason and Angela got into a loud argument. Rick publicly revealed information that exposed Rome's alliance structure. House guests began accusing each other of leaking information. Several people were left in tears after the ceremony, though. I remember the last thing Haley said is, well, the house is officially split. Now, game on. And opposing side. Instead of quietly accepting the nomination, multiple players had their games exposed in front of the entire house. At the power veto ceremony, after winning the veto lasso, Rick held complete control. As expected, he uses the power veto on Lyric, removing her from nomination block. With Lyric safe, Rick named Rome as the replacement. But that was Rome and Lyric's plan all along. Rome worked after Lyric was nominated. Rome, he worked all week to try to get Lyric. Once Rick won the veto, he wanted him to pull Lyric off the block. He was super confident that he was going to win the blockbuster, and then both of them would be safe, and the showmance will still be in the house. The move completed the backdoor plan Rick had been discussing since after HOH. Rome's reaction. Rome knew immediately that he had become Rick's target. He spent the next several days campaigning, repairing relationships, and trying to convince house guests that keeping him would benefit their games, as he would ultimately be a shield. Meanwhile, Lyric tried to distance her game from Rome's, even floating the idea that the two had cooled off strategically to improve their chances. That was actually Rome's idea. Rome, so they were in the have-not room, and Rome said they were going to fake a breakup, basically, and that's what they did. But nobody was buying it. I mean, you've seen Lyric even flirting with Yash, and I believe it was Chuck as well, like climbing up in their laps and stuff like that. She's a real flirty girl. But nobody was buying it. Nobody was buying it. It was a strategic move for them, but ultimately nobody ended up believing it. So, the final nominees before the blockbuster was Jason, Melody, and Rome. One of them would earn safety in the Pirates Booty BB blockbuster, while the remaining two faced the House vote. So we're moving on to part number 4. A lot of stuff happened this week. So, let's see. So yeah, we are going to do this a little bit different, guys. I don't know why I wrote this up like this. So this is the Big Brother time trip. This is the part 4. This is live eviction night. This is what happened tonight. But then we're going to cover other stuff that happened in the game. After an intense week of strategy, arguments, and backdoor plans, eviction night finally arrived. 3 house guests entered the live show on the block, but only one would earn safety in the BB Blockbuster, which is the Pirate's Booty. I've kind of already explained how that worked. Jason, Melody started off, I don't know what she was doing. Like I guess she didn't understand the concept. She was stacking colors or talk. She never got going. Rome had a chance early on, but a critical mistake. He moved one of the colors over on the wrong side. Jason just kind of he killed it. He just absolutely killed it. With their games on the line, all 3 battled. Jason won, removing himself from the block. After Jason's victory, the final nominees, and one of these 2 would be leaving and being the second person evicted from the Big Brother game, Melody and Rome. So they are going to go quickly to the eviction vote. Rick as the outgoing HOH cannot vote because it's not eligible for a tie. So, all right, so let's go to the eviction votes. Angela is up first. Well, I don't think she went up first, but Angela, she evicted. To her eviction vote was Rome, so that's 1 vote for Rome. Barrett evicted Rome. Chuck evicted Rome. D, no surprise there, evicted Rome. Drew evicted Rome. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 votes to evict Rome so far. 0 for Melody. It only takes 7 votes, guys, to this week to be evicted. Haley, obviously she had the confrontation with Rome. Haley evicted Rome. Jason evicted Rome. Camu, well, after Jason's vote, Rome is officially the second person evicted from the Big Brother house, and they have broken up a showmance in week 2. But I'll go through everybody else's vote. Camu evicted Rome. Latrice evicted Rome. Lyric, his own girlfriend and showmance partner, evicted Rome. I was blown away by that, but I guess that's a strategic move. I don't know. Mallory evicted Rome. Taylor Brown, the only one that evicted Melody, so it was not a unanimous vote. And then Yash Patel evicted Rome. So that was a 12-1. Rome was evicted and became the second person following Ashley Trail to be evicted from the Big Brother house. The final vote was Rome Seymour was evicted by a vote of 12-1. But with his exit, Rome left the house with emotion, but without bitterness during his interview with Julie Chen. Obviously, before he left, he confessed his love for Lyric in front of the whole. He said, regardless of what you guys all think, I am absolutely in love with Lyric. I mean, I guess it's possible. I don't know. It's been 2 weeks. To each his own on that. I'm not going to judge. But he left the house with without bitterness. During his interview with Julie Chen, after he was evicted, he said he viewed Rick Devens targeting him as a sign of respect for his game. He also expressed his love for Lyric and was surprised to learn that Taylor, not Lyric, had cast the lone vote to keep him. I was actually surprised about that. The goodbye message reflected the strategic nature of the week. Several house guests explained that Rome's strong social connections and influence made him too dangerous to keep in the game, while others wished him well outside the house, and especially Lyric. Hers was very emotional. What kind of impact this left on the game? Rome's eviction dramatically reshaped the house. Rick's backdoor plan succeeded. The majority alliance maintained control as they did in week 1. Taylor's lone vote immediately stood out and raised questions about where her loyalties lay. Lyric was left to continue without Rome in the House after voting with the majority. So we'll see. Maybe Lyric can start playing Big Brother now and not being in the showmance. We'll see. So part 5. This is a section what was shown on the live feed with what was later confirmed in the episode. Some conversation lasted for hours, so this is just kind of a recap. This is the HOH fallout nomination chaos after Rick won the HOH. The mood in the house changed. Ron spent much of the afternoon trying to reassure his closest allies while also explaining that he'd asked Rick to protect Lyric and Jason because they were his closest allies, which both of them ended up voting him out tonight. That conversation unintentionally exposed the hierarchy within the Rome Empire. The nomination ceremony exploded. We talked about that. When the feed returned after nomination, the house was in chaos. The biggest moments included Jason and Angela yelling across the room, Rick trying to calm everyone down, Angela calling out Jason and Drew during the meeting, Rome gathering Lyric, Jason, Mallory, and Yash, urging them to stay united, which they did not. Rick joking with Angela about all this happening while she was wearing the egg. He said, "We egged you on." Him and Dee were cracking up. Friday night strategy. Rick told Drew that Rome was his preferred target, but acknowledged Rome could still save himself by either the veto or the BB blockbuster. Dee celebrated the chaotic nomination ceremony, saying that this was the best day of her life, and it was even more exciting than her winning Survivor. She was having a grand old time. Barrick and Rick reaffirmed that sending Rome home would be better for their games than evicting Jason. So over the weekend, the backdoor plan formed. Rick continued talking with allies about how to make sure Rome became the replacement nominee if the veto was used. Meanwhile, Lyric worked to distance herself from Rome. She argued that she couldn't be punished for Rome's game. Rick became more comfortable with using the veto on Lyric if he wanted. Ultimately, he said that his deciding factor was he feels like, and him and Dee said this as well, Lyric is not going to be, it doesn't look like she's going to be anybody that can win competitions. We don't really know yet. She may win tonight. But she definitely could be a number. And he felt like he trusted her the most out of the people that was on the block. So once Rome was on the block, campaigning intensified. Lyric had a big dilemma, though. Lyric admitted that emotionally she wanted to keep Rome, but she also knew voting against Rick's wishes could damage her own game. Barrett and Drew, who is part of the Tool Shed and also the original alliance that was formed at the beginning of the game with Rick, Angela, and Dee, the crossovers. One of the biggest strategic developments of the week happened when Barrett and Drew privately discussed wanting to sit together in the final 2. So Barrett and Drew have made a final 2 deal together. That's why I said they better keep their eyes on Drew. He is someone to watch. He is dangerous. Creating one of the season's most important long-term partnerships. Kame's long-term thinking. Kame began talking about what the alliance should do after Rome's eviction, suggesting they remove smaller targets next while keeping the majority together. That's just how you play Big Brother. You just pick off the weaker targets, and then it comes a point in time when you have the numbers game. We've seen this almost on every season where a majority alliance, unless somebody else from the other side gets in power, they kind of just steamroll the whole season until eventually they just have to duke it out, and the best person wins. Rome and Lyric. Oh boy, I had a lot of things to say about them when I was watching the feeds. I was like, oh my god, I feel like I'm watching Love Island instead of Big Brother. The showmatch remained one of the biggest stories on the feed. To reduce the target on Lyric, the two even pretended to break up, hoping the house would see Lyric as an independent player instead of Rome's closest ally. Most house guests did not believe the act. So Tuesday, with eviction approaching and some last-minute campaigning, Jason discussed different vote scenarios with Rome. Melody warned several players that if she stayed and won HOH, Rick would become her primary target because he did not take her off the block. Melody hates the icons. If she wins HOH tonight, she is 100% putting up Rick, D, and Angela. No questions asked. And one of those three would be going home unless they get a power. Which I do believe. In my opinion, I think Rick probably may have a good shot at going into that time capsule Sunday. So we'll see. Jason discussed different vote scenarios with Rome. Angela, Haley, and Dee continue comparing notes about where everyone's loyalties really were. On Wednesday, the final push. As eviction day approached, Rome continued campaigning for votes. The fake breakup between Rome and Lyric continued. Angela encouraged her allies to keep their options open in case the BB blockbuster changed everything. Rick checked in repeatedly with the alliance members to make sure nobody was planning a last-minute flip. The biggest feed moments of the week was Jason versus Angela after nomination, Rome accidentally exposing his alliance hierarchy, Rick's successful backdoor plan taking shape, Barrett and Drew making a final two, Lyric and Rome's fake breakup, which I didn't even buy, even if I didn't see it with my own two eyes. The house splitting into two sides, multiple strategy meetings that set up Rome's eventual eviction. So we're going to move on to part 6, guys. Thank you for everybody that's tuning in. We're a little over an hour in. Sorry it went so long. I did go on for 30 minutes about the subs and everything that's going to be going on the channel. So hopefully you guys are enjoying it. But that is my answer, Tribal Kingpin. I think the Toolshed Alliance is fine. That gives them the numbers. I wouldn't trust Drew and Barrett. The weakest link for me, I think, is probably Barrett. I think Drew is a mastermind type, but I think that they're picking up on him, that he's feeding information to both sides of the house. And then they also believe that Drew's like really connected to Melody. So I think Drew would probably be the first one to get cut, even though Barrett was actually the last one to get brought in. So we'll see. Week 2, this is Alliance Tracker. Week 2 was the week the game truly became about alliances. While the episodes showed some of the bigger groups, the live feed revealed a much more complicated web of overlapping alliances, side deals, and final twos. Rick Devens' HOH helped unite several groups into one powerful majority alliance. And we're going to talk about that. Tribal Kingpin, put the comment up there because this is part of the Toolshed. So Toolshed Majority Alliance. The members of the Toolshed is Rick, D, Angela, Barrett, Drew, Kamo, Haley, and Chuck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of the remaining 15 house guests are in the Toolshed Alliance. So they do have the numbers. I do believe that Barrett is the weakest link. I think it's great numbers wise, but they got to stick together. Control. If they can stick together and keep winning power, then you probably are looking at that. You are probably looking at your final 8. And Rick and D have a final 2. Rick, D, and Angela have a final 3. I believe that Angela and D probably have a final 2. So it's I know that Chuck and Haley have a final 2. So it's gonna be interesting to see how that plays out if they dominate the entire season. The purpose. The Toolshed was created by combining the crossovers in the red corner into one 8-person majority alliance with the goal of controlling the house and picking off the opposing side players, one player at a time. And as I said, I do believe that Barrett is the weakest link, but I think that Drew is bringing too much attention to us. So Kingpin. So week 2 Impact controlled the HOH, controlled the veto, successfully backdoored Rome, held the voting majority. The crossovers, still active alliance. The members, D, Rick, Angela, Barrett, and Drew. It was formed week 1. The purpose of it, a core alliance of returning reality TV players and close allies that became the strategic center of the house. Even after the Toolshed formed, this group remained the true decision-making core. I do believe that. I don't know if this group makes it to Final 5. I don't think the competition threats are enough in here. I think obviously Rick and D are the big comp beasts in this group. But if they can get to final 5, then I do believe Rick and D are going to the final 2. That's just how I see it. So the purpose, the core alliance of returning players, even after the tool shed form, this group remained the true decision making core. The red quarter alliance, obviously they combined the red corner and the crossover into the tool shed. The status is I labeled it yellow. It's absorbed into the tool shed. Basically, I put colors in these notes. So in this group we have Kamu, Haley, Chuck, D, and Rick. Now, competition wise, this is definitely the strongest alliance in the house. But there's the egos. I don't know. I think Chuck would probably be, or Kamu or Chuck would be one of the first to go. Originally created as a separate voting block before merging with the crossover to form the tool shed. Then we have the court gestures, which is, for me, I put a question mark. It's uncertain. It's Jason, Melody, and Drew. It's a smaller strategic group that tried to stay connected despite Drew's growing loyalty to the majority alliance. But I think Drew and Melody could possibly be the next showman. They are really, really close. So you gotta look out for them. The Mama's Angels, I put a red circle beside them. They are severely damaged. One was evicted tonight. Latrice, Rome, and Jason. So this alliance is crumbled. Week 2, Rome's eviction leads this alliance effectively finished. Jason and Latrice will need to find new allies moving forward. And I look forward to seeing how Jason and Latrice navigate moving forward now that Rome was evicted. The love triangle. This one, I put a X with a big red circle and a throw up emoji. Yeah. Rome, Lyric, and Jason. It's just a crazy love triangle. Although Rome and Lyric pretended to break up to lower the threat level, Rome's eviction into this alliance before it could develop any further. Then we have the 4 seasons. This is very unstable. Pretty much, I don't think it has much legs to it. But the members were originally Rome, Lyric, Drew, and Melody. So now the 4 seasons has to be changed to the 3 seasons because Rome is evicted. So it's only Lyric, Drew, and Melody. So basically it's Drew and Melody at this point. Rome's eviction leaves this group without one of its key members, putting its future in doubt. The In-Betweeners. The In-Betweener. This group right here can cause some conflict because remember what I told you guys, Drew and Barrett have a final 2, and Drew is playing the entire house, but Angela, D, and Rick have all caught on to him. They're very weary of Drew. But the status is still active. You got Barrett, Drew, and Melody. Drew and Barrett have a final 2, and I believe Drew would take Melody to the end as well. This smaller alliance tried to bridge relationships across both sides of the house. We have the Dapper Dans, a new alliance that was made this week. The Dapper Dans. Dapper Dans, D-A-N-S. So I put the green by them, the members of this, and this is the first alliance Rick made without D. We have Rick, Drew, Barrett, and Yash. So I don't know. This is kind of a under the radar type alliance. There's a lot of alliances in this game, so you're eventually going to have to turn on one of them. That was what Vince's problem was last year. He had 46 alliances. This alliance stayed mostly under the radar compared to the larger groups and received little attention on the televised episodes. We have the Honor Society, a new alliance. The members of this group is D, Angela, Latrice, and Taylor. I like this group. I do. I don't think it's going to do much because I think that Latrice and Taylor are weaker players. But D and Angela, again, like I said. But if D takes Angela to the end, D loses 100%. She is going to have to take her chances to face Rick at the end to win. If she takes Angela, I don't think D beats Angela at the end. I think that a lot more people don't like D, but I don't know, though. We'll see. It depends on the game and how bitter the jury will be. And they might not even make it to the end. They may get picked off, so we'll see. We'll see who wins Power tonight. I can't wait for next week. So it's D'Angelo, Latrice, and Taylor. This is a quieter alliance that gave D and Angela additional options outside the tool shed. We also have the jugglers, like juggling. And it's Drew and Barrett who have a final two. These are two to keep your eye on. A tight final two style partnership built on mutual trust inside the majority crossover alliance. Other known duos, as I said earlier, Drew Campbell and Melody, close personal and strategic relationship. Kamu and Haley, strong social pair that frequently compared information. Latrice and Taylor are tight, they're thick as thieves. Personal bond that extended beyond larger alliance. So the house structure after week 2, and I kind of broke this down last time for you guys. The majority is the tool shed. Rick, D, Angela, Barrett, Drew, Kamu, Haley, and Chuck. The minority and the outsiders are Jason, Lyric, Melody, Mallory, Latrice, Taylor, and Yash. With Rome evicted, the majority alliance strengthened the script on the game, while the remaining outsiders were left searching for a way to stop what many players on the feed feared could become a tool shed steamroll. That should be the hashtag for next week's episode. The tool sheds. If somebody in the tool shed wins the HOH, we will start hashtagging, or I'll put that on my YouTube on the when I put it on Instagram and TikTok, I'll put hashtag tool shed steamroll. So we'll move on to part 7. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is a little longer episode. I had to break down everything that happened on YouTube today. So for me, I labeled this the house guest report card. I do this. I used to write blogs on this. This is why this is broken down like this. With Rome Seymour evicted, 15 house guests remain. After 2 weeks, the house has a clearly split into a majority and a minority. But there are still players positioned in the middle who could decide where the game goes next, and that is true. Start off with Rick, and the way I do this is I do social, strategic, and competition. I will give I base it off of what like Dave Meltzer does, the wrestling matches. It's under between a 1 and 5 star. So for Rick on social game, I gave him a 5 star. Strategy 5 star, competition 5 star. His overall week 2 grade is an A+. Rick won Achy Breaky HOH, won the Vito Lasso, successfully backdoored his target and saw that target evicted. It's hard to have a more successful week. He controlled the week from start to finish. The only downside is that his game is now out in the open, making him a clear threat moving forward. His stock is way up. Up next is my queen and my pick to win this game, D. Valadares. Her social game is a 5. It's impeccable. That's why she won Survivor. Strategically, a 5. Competition, I gave her a 3. D struggled a little bit in the veto. So, yeah. In the first veto, week 1 veto, she struggled on that. So, I'm going to give her 3 stars. But for the week 2 grade, I'm going to give her an A. D wasn't in power, but she remained one of the best position players in the house. She had influence within the majority alliance without becoming the face of the week's moves. Stock is up. Angela Murray, social game, 4 stars out of 5. Strategically, 4 out of 5. Competition, I don't think she's that great at competition besides unless it's about numbers or before and after or true and false. It's a luck competition. She may win something like that. Competition, I'm going to give her 2 stars. Her grade was a B+. Angela's egg detective punishment kept attention on her, but she continued building relationships across multiple groups. Several players trusted her with information, making her more influential than she appeared. She is playing this season way better than she did season 26. Her stock is up. Barrett Pfeiffer, social game. He's very social, extremely social, but I gave him 4 stars. Strategically, 4 stars. Competition, 3. I haven't really seen him compete too much. I gave him a B+. Barrett stayed off the radar while strengthening his position inside the majority alliance. He avoided unnecessary drama and quietly improved his standing. His stock is up. Drew Campbell, one of my sleeper picks. Social game, 4. stars. Strategy 4 stars. Competition 3 stars. I gave him a B plus. Drew maintained strong relationships on multiple sides of the house, although the few players started questioning his loyalty by the week's end. His stock is not up, it's steady. I gave him the steady. Chuck, NYU. Social game, 4 stars. Strategy, 4 stars. Competition, 3. Week 2, I gave him a B. Chuck continued to build trust without becoming a target. He remained a solid member of Majority Alliance. His stock is on the rise up. Haley Thogmartin. Social game, 4 stars. Strategy, 4 stars. Competition, 4 stars as well. I gave her a B plus. Haley nearly won the Head of House HOH competition. She should have, because Rick tried to throw it to her. She just missed barely. She continued to strengthen relationship through the house. Her stock is up. Kamu Kirk. I'm gonna give his social game a 3. I don't think he's as social as he needs to be. That's why I don't think he wins. Strategically, he's a 4, and competition, I'm gonna give him a 3 as well. His grade was a B. Kamu stayed loyal to the Majority Alliance and focused on long-term planning, though he also became the subject of outside controversy because of the comments made on the live feeds. His stock is steady. Jason, a lot of drama this week. Social games a 3, strategy a 3, competition is a 4. He is a competition threat, guys. He is. His grade was a B. Jason survived nominations and then saved himself by winning Pirates Booty and the Blockbuster. Even though he stayed, he's still viewed as a dangerous competitor, but his stock is on the rise. Lyric, Meteorus. Oh boy, poor Lyric. Social game is a 4. Strategy is a 3. Competition is a 3. I gave her a B. Lyric escaped the block after Rick used a veto on her, voting to evict Ron, protecting her position with the majority, even though it meant voting her out her closest ally. I'm gonna give her stock as steady. I believe it's very steady. Melody Morris. So when she was first, when they first introduced her, she looked a lot like what's the actress's name? She's in the house. Sydney Sweeney. She kind of gave me the Sydney Sweeney vibe a little. Her social game is a 3. Strategy is a 3. Competition is a 3. I'm gonna give her a C plus. I'm not a big fan of Melody. Melody survived the block but remained vulnerable heading into week 3. Her stock is steady. Mallory Auricio. Her social game is a 3. She survived the block, but okay, I got you. Mallory. Her social game is a 3. Strategy is a 3. Competition is a 2. I gave her a C. Mallory stayed out of trouble, but she didn't gain much influence during the week. Her stock is neutral. Latrice Barrett. Social game, very high, is a 4. Strategy to 3. Her competition's a 2. I don't think she's winning anything unless it's luck. I gave her a C plus. Rome's eviction removed one of Latrice's closest allies, and she is going to have to rethink her whole game plan moving forward. Her stock is down. Taylor Brown. Social game 3. Strategy 3. Competition 3. Great. I gave her a C. Taylor cast a lone vote to keep Rome, immediately making her stand out from the rest of the house. That decision could have major consequences in week 3. But are they going to really think that Taylor is the one that voted to keep Rome and not it being Lyric because she would date that? For me, I feel like that might have been a smart move because she can pin that on Lyric because they were dating. But overall, her stock's down. Yash Patel survived, won the Blockbuster week 1, stayed out of trouble this week. And social games a 3, strategies a 3, competition is a 3 as well. He's still on a C level. He avoided becoming a target this week, and he's kind of faded off quietly into the background. I put neutral for his stock. So my week 2 power rankings. I love doing this stuff. Like I said, I used to write blogs, so we're going to do it live. Number 1, Rick Devens. Number 2, D. Valadares. Number 3, Angela. Number 4, Barrett Piper. Number 5, Drew. 6, Haley. 7, Chuck. 8, Kamu. 9, Jason. 10, Lyric. 11, Latrice. 12, Melody. 13, Mallory. 14, Yash. 15, Taylor Brown. That is my week 2 power rankings headed into week 3. So we're going to move on to part 8. You guys let me know your power rankings if you think you disagree or anything. If you guys are watching, if you guys are watching live on YouTube, please make sure you hit that like button. That will help me out a lot. I only see X comments. So part 8, strategy breakdown. Week 2 what wasn't simply about winning competitions. It was about control. Rick won both the HOH and Power of Veto, giving him complete control over nearly every major decision. But the real story was how the house reacted to those decisions and how the balance of power shifted. Rick's master plan. He entered the week 1 to weaken the opposing side of the house. Originally, he considered making a relatively safe week, but after conversations with Angela, Dee, and Rome, he decided to make a much bigger move. The plan became clear. Nominate Rome's closest allies, win the veto, remove one nominee, and backdoor Rome. It was a risky plan because Rome still had 2 chances to save himself, the power of veto if he was selected, or the BB blockbuster, but Rome failed in both of those. Rome's biggest mistake in the game. Rome's biggest strategic mistake came before nominations. While trying to protect his allies, he revealed to Rick which players mattered most to him. He never should have done that. That conversation unintentionally showed Rick exactly how Rome's side of the house was structured. Instead of earning trust, Rome gave Rick the information he needed to build that backdoor plan. The tool shed takes control. The biggest strategic development of week 2 wasn't just Rome's eviction, it was the formation of the tool shed. By merging existing groups, the alliance suddenly had the numbers to control the HOH, the veto, and eviction votes. With Rome gone, the majority alliance looked stronger than ever heading into week 3. Lyric's tough decision. Lyric found herself in one of the hardest positions in the house. After Rick used the veto on her, she had to decide whether to fight openly for Rome or protect her own game. She spent much of the week trying to separate her game from Rome, even participate in a fake breakup to lower their threat level. While I didn't save Rome, it may have helped to keep the target off her for the time being. Jason saved himself by winning the blockbuster. Jason entered eviction night with his back against the wall because if Rome had won, Jason was leaving. By winning Pirates Booty, he guaranteed his own safety and completely changed the final nominee. Without that win, Jason likely would have remained vulnerable heading into the vote. So the biggest winners of the week is Rick. He won the HOH, the power of veto, he executed his backdoor target, and he strengthened another alliance with the tool shed. No one had a better week than Rick Devens. D. Continued influence and decisions without being the public face of the moves, keeping her threat level lower than Rick's while maintaining significant influence. Jason, this is my top 3 as far as biggest winners. It's Rick, then D, then Jason. Jason survived by winning the BB blockbuster and lived to fight another week. My biggest losers of the week. Rome Seymour, obviously. He's no longer in the game. He has to be the biggest loser of the week. He's a gracious guy, though. I do like how he handled it. Not cocky, nothing negative to say about Rick. Seemed like a very classy guy at the end of the day. So I was very pleased with that. Rome became the backdoor target, failed to win the blockbuster, and it was ultimately evicted 12-1. Number 2 is Taylor Brown. Taylor's lone vote to keep Rome immediately made her stand out from the rest of the house. Whether intentional or not, that vote could put a spotlight on her in the weeks ahead. Looking ahead, week 2 established a clear majority alliance, but also created new questions. Will the tool shed continue to dominate? Will the outsiders finally unite? Can Rick lower his threat level after such a dominant week? Who will emerge as the next power player if someone outside the majority wins HOH in week 3? Those questions will define the direction of week 3. Strategy awards. Best strategic move, Rick's successful backdoor plan. Best social recovery, Lyric surviving the week after being nominated and distancing herself from Rome. Best competition performance goes to Rick with the HOH and veto win. Biggest clutch win goes to Jason for winning the blockbuster to save himself. The biggest mistake was Rome revealing too much about his closest allies before nominations. So we're moving on to part 9, guys. We are almost wrapping up here. It's a lot. There's a lot went on this week. Hope you guys are enjoying this Big Brother stuff. So it's the feeds only moments. If you guys are not able to watch the feeds, I will provide some stuff because I have it on pretty much all the time. One of the biggest differences between the television episodes and the live feeds is the feeds show the conversations, relationships, and strategy that happen between competitions. Week 2 is packed with moments that either weren't shown at all or only briefly mentioned on the episode. The fake breakup. One of the week's biggest strategic stories was Rome and Lyric pretending to break up. The idea was simple. Make the house think they were no longer a pair. Convince Rick that Lyric wasn't attached to Rome. Increase the chances that Rick would remove Lyric, which he did, from the block if he won the veto. Most of the house didn't buy it, and Chuck openly questioned the act. After Lyric came off the block, Rome and Lyric quickly returned to spending time together, confirming many house guests' suspicion. Egala is what I call her, and instead of Angela, Egala becomes a house joke. Angela's hard-boiled egg detective punishment created one of the funniest running jokes of the week. House guests nicknamed her Egala, and even while wearing the oversized egg costume, she remained involved in strategy conversations and arguments. The contrast between the serious game talk and ridiculous costume became a favorite topic among the people watching the feeds. The nomination ceremony was even bigger than TV showed. When the feed returned after nomination, viewers found the house in complete chaos. What wasn't fully shown on the episode. Jason continuing to argue with Angela long after the ceremony. Several house guests crying in different rooms. Rick trying to calm the situation while still defending his nominations. Rome admitting that he had thrown multiple people under the bus while campaigning. On the feed, Drew and Barrett build trust. One of the quieter but most important strategy moments came when Drew Campbell and Barrett Piper privately discussed wanting to sit next to each other on finale night. Both agreed they trusted one another deeply while also acknowledging that Rick would be difficult to beat at the end because of his competition wins. Well, he only has 2. Rome's feelings for Lyric. Away from the competition, Rome spent a lot of time talking about his future with Lyric. They even discussed marriage, which is insane to me, honestly. He discussed life after the show, joked about traveling together, and even talked about the possibility of proposing to her someday. Those conversations highlighted how emotionally invested he had become, even while his game was unraveling. Rick never wavered. Although the house debated different scenarios throughout the week, Rick consistently returned to the same conclusion: Rome had to go. Even when allies suggested other possibilities, Rick believed Rome's social connection made him the biggest long-term threat and stayed committed to the backdoor plan. The majority worried about itself. Even while targeting Rome, the majority alliance wasn't completely comfortable. Several members quietly questioned whether Drew was too close to the outsiders. Told you guys that. Whether Barrett was planning too far ahead. If someone might secretly flip the vote. Despite those concerns, nothing materialized. The funniest feed moments. Angela trying to have a serious strategy conversation while dressed as the egg detective. House guests joking about the fake breakup with Rome and Lyric. Jason making sarcastic comments after surviving another nomination. Players teasing each other about future endurance competition. What the TV edit didn't fully show. The amount of work Rick put in setting up the Rome backdoor, just how much strategy went into Lyric separating her game from Rome's. The growing trust between Drew and Barrett. The internal concern within the majority alliance even during a successful week. The emotional side of Rome's relationship with Lyric before his eviction. We're moving on to part 10, guys. We're almost done. So, season statistics through week 2. After 2 weeks, the game has already produced 2 HOHs, 2 evictions, multiple competition winners, and a growing list of alliances. Here's where everything stands heading into week 3, in my opinion. Week 1 HOH competition was D. Week 2 HOH was Rick. Power Veto. Week 1 was Mallory. Week 2 was Rick and the veto. The blockbuster, the Pirates, week 1 was Yash. Week 2 was Jason. BB Time Capsule was Angela. We won't know until week 2, until Sunday. Nomination, D nominated Mallory, Taylor, and Yash. And the replacement was Ashley. The final nominees with Ashley and Taylor. I'm sorry, Ashley. Yash won the, yeah, Yash won the, no, wait, Mallory won the veto. So the final nominations for week 1 was Yash, Ashley, and Taylor. Yash won the blockbuster, so it was Ashley and Taylor, and Ashley was evicted 14-0. Week 2, HOH. Rick nominated Jason, Lyric, and Melody. Rick won the veto, took Lyric off the block. Replacement nominee was Rome. The final nominees after blockbuster was Melody and Rome. Rome Seymour was the second person evicted from Big Brother with a vote count of 12-1. So I broke this down into competition wins. Rick has 1 HOH, 1 veto. D has 1 HOH. Mallory has 1 veto. Everyone else 0. Yash has 1 blockbuster, and Jason has 1 blockbuster. House guest status after week 2. In great position in my eyes is Rick, D, Angela, Barrett, and Drew. In a good position, Haley, Chuck, and Kamu. Middle of the house is Jason, Lyric, Melody, and Mallory. In danger. These are the people I feel are in danger entering week 3, and one of these 3 could ultimately be evicted in my eyes if they don't win HOH or veto or blockbuster. Taylor, Latrice, and Yash. I feel like one of these 3 will probably be one of the 3 that's evicted this week. Biggest movers through 2 weeks that's rising up the rankings. Rick, D, Angela, and Barrett. Falling, going down. Taylor and Latrice evicted. Obviously, it's Ashley and Rome. So it's been 2 weeks played. There's 15 house guests remaining. There's been 2 HOHs, 2 vetoes, 2 blockbusters, 2 evicted house guests, 27 total vote cast, 1 unanimous eviction with Ashley, 14-0. Then we had a 12-1 vote on Rome tonight. So let's get to the final part, guys, and then we will get out of here. Let you guys go turn those feeds on and see who won the HOH. I'm anxious to see myself. So this is the power rankings and the winner odds. This is the last part that I do in my blog as well. I also write a blog on this. So with 2 weeks in the books, the house is beginning to settle into a clear power structure. These rankings are based on each player's position in the house, competition ability, social relationships, and overall path to the end of the game as of the conclusion of week 2. Number 1, my number 1 winner odds goes to D. Valadares. I would give her 5 stars. I believe she has a 25% chance to win this game. Why? D continues to sit in one of the strongest positions in the game. She has excellent relationships across the house, influence within majority alliance. Hasn't become the obvious target that Rick has. Her biggest strength is her social game. Her biggest danger being exposed as a strategic center of the alliance. Number 2 is Rick Devens. 5 stars. I believe he has a 20% chance to win. Why? No one had a better week 2 than Rick, winning both Achy Breaky HOH and the veto lasso, and successfully backdooring Rome was an incredible resume boost. His biggest strength is competition dominance. His biggest danger, everyone in the whole house now knows he's a threat. Week 3, number 3, 4 stars. I gave Rick 5 stars as well. So our first 4-star, number 3, Angela Murray. I give her a 12% chance to win the game. Angela continued to strengthen relationships by staying active and strategy despite her punishment. She's well connected and trusted by many players. Her stock is rising. Number 4 stars, Barrett Viper, 9% chance to win the game. Barrett quietly improved his position and avoided unnecessary attention while remaining an important member of the majority alliance. His stock is rising. Number 5 is Drew Campbell. 4 stars, 8% chance in my eyes to win the game. Drew has connections throughout the house, giving him flexibility. If he can continue balancing those relationships, he can make a deep run. He has steady stock. Number 6 is Haley Thogmartin. I gave her 4 stars, 6% chance to win the game. Haley remains well liked and nearly won HOH. She's positioned well but needs a signature move. Chuck Anawayu. I gave number 7. I gave him 3 stars, a 5% chance to win Big Brother. Chuck has built solid relationship without drawing much attention. He'll need to step out from the majority of the alliance shadow eventually. Number 8, Kamu Kirk. 3 stars, 4% chance. Kamu is in a good alliance, but hasn't built the resume needed to separate himself from the pack. He kind of seems like he's just kind of going with the flow, following like what Haley and D and Rick are telling him to do, basically. So number 9 is Jason. 3 stars as well, 3% chance to win the game. Winning the blockbuster saved his game, but he remains an obvious target moving into week 3. But his stock is rising. Number 10 is Lyric Meteoris. Her winner odds. I gave her 3 stars at 2.5%. Lyric escaped the block and survived the week, but she'll need to rebuild after her showmance's eviction. Melody Morris, 2 stars, 2% chance to win the game. I don't think she'd win it. Melody survived another week, but remains vulnerable if the majority stays together. Number 12, Mallory Arricchio, winner odds, 2 stars, 1.5%. Mallory has stayed out of trouble, but yet she has yet to make a defining move. Number 13 is Latrice Barrett, with the winner odds being 2 stars with 1% chances, which means more than likely she's going to be one of the next people to go. Losing Rome leaves Latrice searching for new allies and a new path forward. Number 14 is Taylor Brown. I gave her 1 star, a 0.7% chance to win the game. Casting the lone vote to keep Rome put Taylor in a very uncomfortable position heading into week 3 unless she somehow wins HOH. Number 15, and the last one on my power rankings, is Yash Patel. He has a 1 star with a 3% chance to win the game. Yash has managed to survive, but he needs stronger alliances and more influence to become a legitimate contender. The biggest risers of the week are Rick Devens, Angela Murray, Barrett Piper, and Haley Thogmartin. The biggest fallers of the week, Rome Seymour, obviously he was evicted, Taylor Brown, and Latrice Barrett. Players to watch in week 3. Rick Devens, can he survive after such a dominant HOH? D. Valadares, will she continue pulling strings behind the scenes? Jason Dupuy, can he capitalize on surviving the block? Lyric Meteors, how does she recover after losing her showmance? This is my early final 5 predictions. D. Rick, Angela, Barrett, and Drew. That is my final 5 predictions. So this is my week 2 final thoughts. Week 2 was defined by Rick's complete control of the game. His HOH win, veto victory, and successful backdoor of Rome Seymour reshaped the house and strengthened the majority alliance. With the outsiders now outnumbered, week 3 will answer the biggest question of the season so far. Can anyone stop the majority Toolshed alliance, or will they continue the Toolshed domination? So, there we go, guys. That is it for the Big Brother Season 28 Week 2 recap show. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Rome Seymour was evicted by a vote count of 12 votes to 1. So now Rome and Ashley are out of the game. We have 15 house guests remaining. The HOH is currently being played, or it could be already over by now. I'm not sure. I haven't looked online. But I do want to say thank you guys so much for tuning in to the 172 people. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the deep, thorough. Like I said, this is also a blog, so everything that I put in there, I tried to put into the video. And also thank you so much to you guys for the subs. There will be a winner drawn the first Sunday in August. So thank you guys for that. If you can, just keep doing what you're doing. If you're helping me, I appreciate you so much. Just keep pushing the page. The next goal is obviously 400. And then the monster is 500. But I know now that anything is possible because I did receive 50 plus subs in 36 hours. So thank you to you guys, everybody that subbed to the YouTube channel. And there will be a winner drawn August the 9th, 2026. So this has been your Big Brother Season 28 Week 2 recap show. Who will win Power? Well, first, who will win the BB Time capsule? I'll tune in Sunday on CBS to find out. Will they win a Power, or will there be another disadvantage? If they do win a Power, will it play a role this week? Who will win HOH? which 3 players will be nominated for eviction, who will win the power of veto, and ultimately who will end up in the blockbuster next Thursday night, and who will be the final 2 people sitting in those eviction chairs facing Miss Julie Chan Moonves, and ultimately who will be the 3rd person evicted from the Big Brother house. You guys can find out next Thursday night here on the Big Brother 28, Big Brother Season 28, Week 3 recap show next Thursday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, same place, same time. So thank you guys for that. So shout out to Greg, the world of Greg from DWE Family Media for reposting the stream, and also the Tribal Kingpin. I was hoping to get more comments tonight, but we do have a lot of viewers, so that's all that matters. Don't see anyone in here from YouTube. If you do go back and watch this live on YouTube, please hit that like button. It does help my stream, help the algorithm out. So thank you guys so much for that. We are live on my YouTube channel, my X page, and DWE Television X page. Make sure you follow DWE Television X page. First off, the CEO himself, Miami the Great, who has Inside the Mind, NFL Mind with Miami every Tuesday and Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern on the DWE Television X page, on Twitch, at DWE TV and DWE Television, and also on Talk It Up podcast. Make sure you give them a subscription as well on YouTube. And his partner and the HR of DWE, Final Boss Baby, with 2 B's. Make sure you follow them and tune in this Saturday. 2 shows coming up. DWE Radio, make sure you tune into them. They're also on Spotify as well. So make sure you tune into them Saturday. Always a good show. Can't wait to hear what they have to say about WWE's creative booking into SummerSlam. A lot, as I said on Kyle's show last night and posted an exclusive channel on the 17th of July, there was 3 matches, creative matches that were changed due to Rhea Ripley's injury. So looking forward to that. And after their show later on that night at 9 p.m. Eastern Saturday night, I will be back to give you guys a full recap of all 5 episodes of WWE's Season 3 Unreal. Also, the World of Greg, make sure you follow him on X and the DWE Family Media page as well. You can catch him and Kyle Man Anthony every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern, as they will run down the Raw card for you guys before Raw on Netflix. This Monday is the final Raw before SummerSlam. Looks like it could be shaping up to be a good one. So make sure you follow both of them. Kyle Man Anthony, make sure you definitely follow him for sure. And tune in next Wednesday. He is the host of Queens of WWE. I am his co-host every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, as we will talk about the women on the Raw, NXT, and the SmackDown roster. So make sure you follow World of Greg and Kyle. Director Reg, the Reckless One himself. Make sure you follow him on X. After the Slam Podcast on X, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, the Smoke Session Podcast, the Sports Jedi Network, and everyone affiliated with Gimmick Table Media. Once again, I thank you guys so much for the 300 subscribers. There will be a $25 winner drawn on August the 9th on Sunday Night Scoops, and also a $100 winner drawn on August the 9th, 2026 on Sunday Night Scoops. And this Sunday on Sunday Night Scoops will be the last Scoops before those drawings, because there will not be a Scoops take place on SummerSlam Sunday. So make sure you come in Sunday, because I have a lot to talk about, a lot of news, a lot of stuff to talk about. And I will be drawing one winner, because we got over 10 likes last stream. We got 12, I believe. One person will receive the full month of August in my exclusive news channel in the Discord. With that being said, I'll be back shortly, guys, to tell you where you can find me on my socials, what I have coming up for the rest of this week and next week. Stay tuned.
Wrestling has more than one royal family.
There are a lot of podcasts out there, but only one with this kind of energy.
Welcome to EVP Show Recap Prediction Sports. Let go, show recap prediction sports
In one podcast.
Welcome to EVP Show Recap Prediction Sports. Let go.
Once again, thank you guys for tuning in to Big Brother Season 28 Week 2 recap show, where Rome Seymour was the second person to leave the Big Brother house with the eviction count of 12-1. So we will see who gains power with the Week 3 HOH. Look forward to next week to go over everything that occurred on the live feeds, as well as all of the competitions and who won the BB Time Capsule as well, and who gets evicted next Thursday night. Make sure you go back and leave comments in this stream. Let me know what you thought. Your thoughts going into week 3. Who you want to see win HOH. If you want to see something different, maybe the outsiders maybe get a lucky win. See some of the veterans and that stronger alliance kind of have to quiver a little bit. We'll see. Maybe the game gets shook up. Who knows? There's always a lot of luck comps in Big Brother. So we'll see who wins power tonight. I will know later on once I'm done with this stream. But as far as where you can find me on my socials, on X, you can find me at EVPCJP. My YouTube page is pinned at the very top. If you ever get a chance, make sure to retweet that YouTube page link at the top. Instagram at EVPCJP. All you will see there is the videos Miami and Greg make for my upcoming streams. You can find me at EVPCJP there. TikTok at Brady the Goat 21. Also, same thing. All my videos from my upcoming streams. It's at BRADYDA Goat 21. Last but not least, most importantly, and you guys have been killing it the last 2 days, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Currently, before I went live, I was sitting at 301 subscribers. I'm 199 away from 500. That is absolutely asinine. It's crazy to think. But thank you guys so much for that. If you are subscribed, make sure you hit that notification bell on. Turn the notification bell on and come and join me for all my daily wrestling content, as I will be live the rest of this week and all of next week as well. If you can't, just go to the search bar and type in at the EVP show and hit that subscribe button and come join me. What I have coming up next tomorrow night. What will be the fallout with CM Punk, Sami Zayn, and Cody Rhodes? Come find out and join me at 10:30 p.m. Eastern tomorrow night for the SmackDown recap. And then Saturday, a rare edition, something new, but I have covered both seasons here on the EVP Show channel. Join in at 9 p.m. Eastern Time Saturday night for the WWE Season 3 Unreal recap show. And then Sunday, it's a big one. Doubleheader Sunday is back. Probably the last doubleheader Sunday, because I believe LFG ends the week after next. Join me at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Starting off, we will draw a winner for 1 month of the exclusive news channel in the Discord for Sunday Night Scoops with the EVP. And if you guys are able to get 10 likes, when I come back on the 9th, we're already going to give away 2 giveaways. We'll also do another month's membership as long as we continue to get 10 likes on that stream. So you got to show up and show out. It's the last one of July, last one before SummerSlam. Then you can come back later that night at 11:30 p.m. Eastern Time and join me for the LFG Season 3 Episode 14 recap show. And then next week, Monday night, it is the Go Home show before SummerSlam. Join me at 11 p.m. Eastern Time for the Raw recap show. Tuesday night at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time, join me for the NXT recap show. Then less than a week from today, 6 days from now, next Wednesday, turn that notification bell on and come and join me and 9 others at 6 p.m. Eastern for the SummerSlam prediction show. We have a full panel. We will be predicting all of the 12 to 13 matches that will take place at SummerSlam. If you are not on the panel and you would like to be on the next one, I will be making a post out soon for NXT Heatwave coming up at the end of August. But if you're not on the panel, just come in the comments, make your predictions, and I will put them up on the screen as well. Next Thursday night, we're back again. Who gets power? Who gets nominated? And ultimately, who is the third person evicted from the Big Brother Season 28 game? Joining me, find out. Next Thursday night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern for the Big Brother Season 28 Week 3 recap show. And then next Friday night, it is the last televised show before SummerSlam. It is the Go Home SmackDown. Join me at 10:30 p.m. Eastern for your SmackDown recap show. And then next Saturday, it is night one of SummerSlam. After the post show concludes, join me at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time for your SummerSlam night one recap show. And then next Sunday, it is SummerSlam night two. Will be no scoops, will be no LFG. After the post show, after the dust settles with SummerSlam and Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins and everything that happens after the post show, come join me at 10:30 p.m. Eastern next Sunday for your SummerSlam Night 2 recap show. Once again, thank you guys for tuning in to the Big Brother Season 28 Week 2 recap show. And especially thank you guys so much for the 300 subscribers. It means the world to me. Let's keep growing. Let's keep building. And we will hopefully one day, everybody's going to know who we are. So that's the ultimate goal. So thank you so much again. And you guys will be rewarded. I can guarantee you that. With that being said, guys, hopefully you guys enjoy your Friday. And I will hopefully see you guys back tomorrow night for SmackDown. I am the EVP from the EVP show and the golden boy of DWE. And DWE is the only place to be. Enjoy your Friday and come check back in with me tomorrow night at 10:30 p.m. Eastern for your SmackDown recap show. Good night, everyone.